So we're going to talk about past lives and how past lives, because I just had this amazing conversation with a very beautiful friend, Andromeda Flame. And we're going to talk about past lives and how they can liberate you or trap you. And it really is up to you how you're going to see this, because no one else can free you from your mind. So we're going to talk about past lives and how remembering them are there to free you, but how people quite often see it as a karmic debt, not to win, not to thrive. And it's a real problem, because when you remember certain past lives, it isn't there to shame you into not winning. It's there to remind you of why you're not winning. And I don't know why people, actually I do know why people don't get that. Because most people, the average human being is so humble. It's almost self-deprecating humility. And though these human beings are so beautiful in their self-deprecating humility, that kind of humility is still smacks of self-importance, lack of self-respect and self-love. And that's not the goal. The goal is to be humble, yes, of course, but be humble, but know you're powerful, and be careful with that power. Wield it with justice and kindness and generosity, not cowardice and greed and evil intent. So I'm going to wait until people get on. I usually start talking right away. And if you want to share the live, feel free to. But I may actually do a Spotify, because I have a podcast as well, and go more into that, because then I don't have to be so concerned with who's trolling, whatever. So this friend of mine's significant twin, obviously, has some past lives as a martyr, and is continuing to play out this story in this incarnation. I had a past life where I was a high priestess, and I used to sacrifice and do some pretty incredibly vile, evil things to sacrifice other people for power. And so I was afraid of power. I was afraid of my power. I never could understand why, I never could understand why I was powerful, but why I was afraid to use it. And then that flashback of a past life came out of nowhere, which is what happens. And I was in shock. Of course, I was ashamed. And I was like, but I asked the right spiritual question. Why would, of all the past lives I've had, why would that past life come down out of nowhere? Uninvited, unrequested. And the answer was because when you had power, and the reason why you're afraid of your power in this incarnation is because there was a time in your own soul's memory that you used power indiscriminately for greed in the vilest ways. And that's why you're afraid of your power. But you must remember that you are no longer that person. You will never, ever misuse power. That is a guarantee, which I didn't know. And then I started really digesting that truth. My husband had a past life of a very, 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 very famous, very well-respected general in the ancient world. I'll give you a hint. In the Punic Wars, he was the best. He was amazing. And I was his brother in that past life. The problem is that he, in this incarnation, decided that instead of realizing that this power to lead people against the Roman Empire was an incredible gift that he had, that he could actually use this power in this incarnation to do massive healing and change. He saw it as a personal quest to not thrive and to live in abject shame throughout his incarnation that he once had on this planet. He passed away. Many of you know that. So I've seen the double-edged sword of past lives. I know how it works. I've seen it front and center. And when you get past lives of downloads of things that are that show an imbalance of power, right? Then your lesson is to say, how do I forgive myself, or how do I overcome this so that I can use power for the collective, for the greater good? That's what many of us as starseeds have come back. I mean, imagine Cleopatra coming back. Just here, let's just use her as a... I hope you guys know the story, right? But imagine Mark Anthony and Cleopatra returning. One would play it out and say, I will use power to help the collective with all of my might. I will never apologize for what I did in that life based on the circumstances and environment around me. And then Mark Anthony comes back and decides, you know what? I'm just going to be, I'm just going to lose. I don't deserve to win. I don't deserve abundance. I don't deserve, because once when I had power, I was a coward and I used it badly, and I just don't deserve to win. It's interesting, but it happens more often than you think. It happens to such a level that many of you are afraid of your own power. And I am using very charismatic, magnetic people as examples. You know, Cleopatra and Mark Anthony, Alexander the Great, Hannibal Barca, you know, pretty magnetic people. And some of you are uncomfortable with the fact that you are charismatic. Some of you are magnetic, which means people are attracted to you. And you're charismatic, which means you turn heads. And it's not because you're gorgeous. It's because there's this flame within you that attracts others to you. And some of you are frightened by it. Some of you are charismatic and magnetic in a Kuan Yin energy, which I tell that to many of my women who are soft. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, there's a lot right with it, because we need softness. We can't run the world with Xena warrior princess or Amazonian queens all over the place. We need soft energy, Shakti energy as well. Some of us need to soften our stance, and some of us need to become a little stronger. But regardless of what you choose to be, the aspect of what you're afraid of, if you have the gift of gab, why are you afraid of using it? If you have the gift of being able to bring people to tears when you sing or you play an instrument, why aren't you using that? And I could list things, I could list all kinds of things, you know, music, dance, the written word, public speaking, organization, leadership, healing. It goes on and on. And many of you are sitting, they're showing me, many of you are sitting on your hands in silence. And you don't know what to do. And I would say that past lives is the first step to you becoming self-aware and self-realized. Past lives, looking at your past lives, to realize what you're missing in this incarnation. And wow, Rachel, 999, when I came in, I was thinking of you today. Well, thank you. Today, I get the keys to my healing farm today. So this is a very blessed day for me. It's a massive change. So what I want to say to you is I invite you to sit with some of your past lives. In fact, ask the universe, ask God, ask the universe, ask God, what past life is troubling me, like an energetic frequency that I'm not fully aware of, that is preventing me from walking my path in all of my heart, in all of my mission. What is preventing me from getting there? Why do you think I'm into hypnotherapy? Why do you think I became a hypnotherapist? Because I know that the nucleus of massive quick healing comes from those sessions. There's a lot to be said in going back into time. As a matter of fact, I had a client, that'll blow your mind, and I never had that done, but in this particular induction that I did with a client, I said past life, concurrent life, or future life. Do you know she had a future life? It actually came up in a past life regression of the future, because time is not linear. My point is, there are wisdoms from your future lives. In fact, there's a fantastic channeler, Roxanne. He's a transgender. She is a transgender. I've actually spoken to her. She's amazing and beautiful. So if you want to see how Roxanne became Roxanne, you can go on Gaia.com and look up Roxanne Chandler. She channels her future self and writes ancient languages from her past selves. Many of us have amazing wisdom and we are a fractal piece of ourselves. When you look in the mirror, right, and you see, say, Roxanne, Billy, Tony, Danielle, Rachel, whatever, right? When you look in the mirror, if you actually believe that's all you are, then you are sadly mistaken, because we are a dilution of that. We're a fractal piece of that. And so when we want to download powerful messages, powerful truths that we need, especially in this time that we live in, as we're going through the split of 3D to 5D. You want to download not just from your higher self, but also your various incarnations where we're still, no offense, I hope I don't freak you guys out, but some of what we call past lives are still happening. Some of the future lives are happening, the ones that we're having on other planets with different family lineages. That's why I don't like it when people say, I call on my ancestors. Like, let's say you're Irish or you're French or whatever, and you're calling on, no, this is what I do. And I invite you to reframe your wording. I call on my ancestors from this life, past lives, future lives, across all dimensions and planets and dimensional, realities. Because that wish me, and this is what I add, that wish me love, guidance, and generous of heart, bring those to me. I clearly don't want every fucking ancestor, because some of my ancestors, like I can tell you in this incarnation, were a-holes. So why would I call on them? So you gotta make sure you filter out the shit. Don't just think all your ancestors want your best, because some of them don't. Okay, believe it or not. So you want to make clear to the universe that you want to attract these powerhouses to you who love you, who actually have your back, and go from there. But anyway, when you download from your various fractal self, in various timelines, you can actually get massive truths that will give you a sense of a lot of clarity, a lot of release actually from it. Like, for example, I was talking to this beautiful friend and I was saying to her, I now understand toxic loyalty. Toxic loyalty is when you love them more than you love yourself, and you do shit based on again, a fractal self from other past lives, typically past lives. I'm not joking when I say that. And current lives where you're giving people things or doing things for people that harm you. In the end, it will harm you. That's toxic loyalty. And you're duty bound. You know what's freeing? When you stop doing it out of duty and toxic loyalty, and you do it because you want to. And you protect yourself, though. You make sure that there's a boundary that you give yourself, that you will not do anything to harm yourself. Toxic loyalty is common. There are tons of women, I'm going to say this straight up, women who are in jail with first offenses because they were toxically loyal to very brutish lovers. And I'm not going to say masculine, because they're not, it's not always men that they're loyal to. Sometimes it's very brutish women. And so these kinds of ideas have to be looked at. Okay? So I want you to really kind of look at the value of past lives and why past lives are important, to your journey. And when things don't make sense, you've got to journal it, because it's a puzzle piece. I mean, so you and I we just threw 1,000 pieces of puzzle. None of it's going to fucking make sense. Hello? Because we didn't get the box, right? We don't know what's on the cover, right? So it's going to take a while. You're going to do one corner, I'm going to do another one, right? A hypnotherapist, we're partnering, right? And then we won't actually have to have all 1,000 pieces down before we see the picture. Quite often that's how past lives occur, or future lives, or present traumas that prevent you from actually going back into time, back or forth into time. It's very interesting. When you do LBL, which is Lives Between Lives, where you have a meeting with your council and your soul tribe and your guide, your guide that's been with you since your first creation as a electrical light being, multi-dimensional light being, and you look at a past life that you had and you discuss the new life that you're about to embark on. You're looking at bloodlines, you're looking at countries, you're looking at languages, religions, you're looking at your parents' backgrounds, their issues, their traumas, how it matches your traumas that you've never been able to work on. And then you pick your parents, right? You go, those are the ones. I want them. They're perfect. And you come in. And then, of course, for many, amnesia sets in. Deep amnesia for whatever reason, right? It could be that you need to be asleep. You need to work. You need to be in the mundane day-to-day life. And then one day, holy fuck, you wake up and you're like, what the fuck is this? What is this? Why? Why am I here? What is this? What does it mean? And you start asking the right spiritual questions, and you may bemoan the fact that you were asleep for 20, 30 years, maybe more. But mark my word, many of us woke up when we were born. I'm not kidding. We were awake and we were spoon-fed more and more knowledge. It is not an easy time. Many of us were born in the 40s, 50s, 60s. That was not an easy time to be awake. Okay, now is a very good and powerful time to be awake because there's a lot more of you awake than there were when many of us were born. There were massive amounts of people who were asleep or they were doing weird-ass occultic shit. I'm being real with you, satanic rites, all kinds of fucking crazy-ass shit. And many of us who are starseeds, who were remembering our past lives on other planets, we couldn't actually talk about it. We would have been heavily lobotomized through chemicals and whatever, if you get my drift. So now you may bemoan that, I just woke up in February of last year. I just woke up 3 years ago. And you're like that's a wrong thing to, no, it was a fucking kind thing to do for you. It was the kindest thing they could have done for you, is to keep you asleep until it was time when you could meet more people, meet people like me and tribe members like us. And go, holy fuck, I'm not alone. No, you're not alone. You had that? Yeah, I think that too. You had, yeah, I had those downloads too. Yeah, Dark Night of the Soul, yep. See, the twin flame journey isn't the whole story here. That's why I'm actually going to, I resent a lot of content creators who all they talk about is twin flames. It gets on my last craw. Because the twin flame journey is 1/9 of the pie. You got 8 pieces to work on. And most people ignore those 8 pieces, which are the very reasons why you're not in union. I'm just being straight up. And you might say, well, we lost our phone numbers, they're in another country, and blah, blah, blah. Dude, I've met people, I have been like friends in airports in fucking Hong Kong. There's no way you would have never said, oh yeah, Tony, one day you'll meet your friend from Switzerland in an airport. No, you would have never believed it was true. When the universe wants you to come back into union, nothing will stop it. And when the universe does not want you to be in union, nothing will make you come into union. So the 8 pieces of that pie, because, let's put the 9th piece, twin flame story, to the side. Let's put that in the fridge for a second. Now we have 8 pieces left of the ascension that brings people into or out of union. See, that's the shit you guys aren't working on. That's the shit you got to work on. Okay, that's what they mean by you're going to work on yourself. It sounds very, Mary Poppins bullshit. I get it. It's frustrating. But I hope I broke it down to you to some level. And then you might ask me, well, which 8 piece? Dude, whatever fucking comes up. Go into hypnotherapy. Work with that I'm going to meet this month that was highly recommended to me. I have another healer who I work with. I've been working with her for 3 years. I don't kick tires, meaning I don't go test drive all these healers. Don't do that shit, man. Either trust who you're being guided to, trust who you want to follow. Like, the minute I can afford to do a Joe Dispenza retreat, I'm going to Joe Dispenza retreat. Why? Because I've been following him for decades. I love the man. I love what he says. I love what he stands for. Why would I be going to mamby-pamby retreats when I know that he's the only retreat I really want to go to? I'm not kidding. He's the only retreat. Okay? Aside from my shaman in outside this country. There's one other person I would go. I would love to see her again. Wherever the hell she lands, I want to be there with her because I think she's amazing. But what I'm saying to you is I don't kick 20, 30, 50 fucking tires. So once you look at the 8 pieces that you need to heal, right? You've got 8 pieces to heal. You've got past life that you need to understand. You need to understand about your somatic memories, trauma trapped in the cellular system from other past lives, by the way, not just this one. Also, you've got your own lack of self-worth, which comes from not just this incarnation, but other incarnations. If you actually see your goodness through the eyes of other people by the acts you do to impress them, not because you're trying to impress them, but because you're trying to have them see your worth, right? See your worth so that you're worthy of their love. If you have to keep buying their love through various action, mommy, daddy, schools, jobs, bosses, your twin, then you're barking up the wrong fucking trees. Because if you can't find value in your ability to be a good person that is driven, that knows that they have a mission, and you're either on the journey of finding or being revealed, whatever that mission is, you'll be escorted step by step by step. The universe doesn't just shove you into a mission. In fact, that's insane. People don't do that. Even basic training in the army has basic training, okay? So you are going through basic training. And then the whole of it will be revealed to you. Does that make sense? So patience is the virtue of king and queens. It's an old saying. What else can I say? Speaking your truth. Your throat chakra needs to be open. Okay? Writing, journaling, meditation, downloads, clearing. Loving being alone. I mean loving it. Learning boundaries to yourself so you don't become so immersed in toxic loyalty to other people that you self-harm without being aware you're self-harming. Right? Like I said, there are a lot of women in jail. And I'm going to say the word women. Yeah, I'm gender specific. Who have been toxically loyal to the wrong lovers. Men or women. Doesn't matter. And it's because women, in particular, it's a feminine problem. Women see their value through the eyes of others. It's actually fucked up. Now, I hope you're not one of these women if you're a woman listening to me. I hope to God you've overcome that, or maybe you never had that. Right? But most women I've worked with over the years, I've seen it again and again. And some men, okay? Let me see your comments. Let me see your comments. Okay. Thank you, Zayla, for saying that, Zaylee. Okay, so any questions on that? Ask me a question relevant to what I just said, if you don't mind. Does anybody have any questions or any confusion on what I said? I mean, it's not exactly a normal conversation. These conversations are very, very difficult, to have because Zale, I'm adding you as a moderator, by the way. All right, so I just added you. Any questions or comments? And Rachel, if you want to be a moderator, let me know. I'll add you to it. I should have asked you, Zale, but I saw you moderating, so I thought I'd throw you in. Any questions on that? Does anybody have any questions? I'm serious. Just I'll read it out loud. Don't be shy. Just fucking ask me a question. This is a good time to do it. Okay, hang on for a quick second. Let me see. Okay. So why is past life regression scary for people? Because they're afraid of seeing their shadows. It's that simple. They're afraid of seeing their darkness, their shadows. It's not a bad thing. It's normal to be afraid. But if you want to heal, you've got to cannonball into it. When I did ayahuasca, I was like, damn it, I am so sick of being me as I am, weak, afraid, with the this illusion of power that isn't really real power. It's a facade, right? It's all bullshit. I I basically had to brainwash myself. I had to like go in and cannonball into it. So you got to go in with all hands on deck for yourself. You've got to go in and go, that's it. I'm done with this bullshit. I want to be healed. I want to learn. I want to decalcify my pineal gland. I want to open myself up. I want downloads. I want to be upgraded. I want all of it. I want all of it. I want to know the truth about myself, about the universe I live with, about what I can do to create a world that is much more in alignment with my heart chakra and my own vision of my own reverberating memories of having past lives on other planets when none of these infrastructures that have muzzled me were around. I remember home. I miss home. So, but what was home like? It was like X, Y, and great. Well, that's what I want. I'm not living it here. Planet Earth is incredible. It's not the planet that's the problem. It's the infrastructure that's the problem. So all of these aspects of wanting more isn't greed, because you're not asking me for a private plane. You're not asking me for a Chanel bag. You're asking me for your freedom to thrive and to feel mentally healthy and to feel emotionally safe and to feel as if every step you take, you're thriving and thriving and thriving. And it is your God-given right to thrive. It actually is. So these kinds of desires are not toxic. But you may actually be misaligned with yourself because you're so busy catering to people's needs of you and what they want you to be as opposed to what you should be for your own, your own self-realized empowerment, that you're actually harming yourself. And that means that maybe it's good to say no. Do you know the average person up until they're 40 or thereabouts doesn't know how to fucking say no to someone? Will you come over for Thanksgiving dinner? Shit, I gotta drive 2 hours. I got 2 kids. I've got my husband. Yeah, yes, sure. What do you want me to bring? Okay, apple pie, got it. And then the day of Thanksgiving, you call in saying, I've got, all the kids have the flu. All the kids have because you can't face the bullshit. How about this? No. What do you mean no? I don't want to go to Thanksgiving. How come? We do it every year. Because this year we're going to have it at home. I'm going to have a cozy, beautiful layout. If you want to come, I'm going to have an open house from the hours of 4 to 9. But no, this year we're going to just nestle. We're going to nest. We're going to have a good time. We're going to watch movies, play video, whatever the hell you guys want to do. Well, I don't understand. Why no? Because it's no. No, but thank you for the invitation. That is an important move in your life, to say no. No to a boss. No to, I'm not kidding. Can you finish this project by Monday? You mean you want me to work through the weekend? Yes, that's what I mean. No, I can't. I've already booked a thing. Or if you haven't booked it, no, I can't. No, I'm going to burn myself out. No, I can't, but I can get it to you by Wednesday. It's scary to say no to people. But let me tell you what happens when you say no to people. At first, they will resent you. Afterwards, they will respect you. And when you say yes, they'll know that it's a hell yes. Do you want to go to Christmas? Hell yes, I will. What do you want? Pies? I'll bring you everything. It's a hell yes. And these things are important because being toxically loyal whether it's on small mundane things like a holiday invitation, to saying no. Like I remember being invited to a Christmas party for my job when I'd say no. It's like, but you have to because it's politically correct, and I'm like, I'm not here to kiss ass. I'm here to do my job Monday through Friday, and then I'm out. What do you? I sometimes had to be honest and say, listen, there are people here that you have to pay me for me to sit next to them. I don't do this shit for free. Sounds arrogant, doesn't it? But it's true. I would never go to a Christmas party to kiss boss ass. No way. No fucking way. If I'm curious, I'll go, I'll come in, I'll do an hour and I'm out. Why are you leaving, sir? Because I'm tired and it's time. I want to go now. Thank you. It was great. I had a good time. It's like the level of fuckery we do to ourselves to be seen a certain way is ridiculous. Because none of you are happy doing it. No one is happy doing it. So why do we do it? And it's because we've been trained to do it. You know, we've been trained. So hang on, let me see here. Let me see what else. If you need more, yeah, I would. Okay, let me add you. Just so yeah. Let me confirm. Thank you, Rachel. Any questions on that? I remember writing an article about that on a blog for a pretty well-known company. And I wrote about that. And it really, I think it helps people to learn how to say no. Learn how to say no. And when you say yes, it's a hell yes. And understanding why you're afraid of X, Y, and Z in your mission on this planet. Understanding why you're afraid to come out of the closet as a spiritualist, understanding all of that, you got to look at past lives. I mean, look, I've had a couple clients where they were burned at the stakes. Yeah, it's really frightening to come out as a spiritualist. It is. But you are now safer than you've ever been before. There was a time when, you know, if you said you were a spiritualist, people mistook it for satanic for Satanism, for whatever reason, you know, whatever. They mistook midwives for occultist, dark occults, you know, whatever, rites. And it's, you know, if you ever study women's history, in particular in this country, it's really interesting how it always came down to land. Most of the hunting of women and being accused of witchery and fuckery and whatever the hell you want to call it, it was always about getting the land. Brass tacks, it came down to the land. That was it. It was really never real. It was never true. It was a lie. Or it was about beautiful women who made other women jealous, and also made men desirous of them, lusting after them. And they accuse the women of witchcraft, all kinds of shit like that. So it was either land or lust, toxic lust. So, you know, it's a lot. Let me see here. I got called a devil worshiper yesterday over yoga. Something that's 10,000 years old. In other words, it outranks every religion we recognize today, except for Hinduism, which is 7,000 to 10,000 years old, depending on who you talk to. So yoga, that's funny. See, when you have people that are that lobotomized, okay, let's just call it what it is. You're not here to explain it to them. It's like explaining to a person why we are so diverse and why we have multiple languages, you know, and why that is so beautiful just in itself. That is one of the beautiful things about human nature, about humanity, is our diversity. And the double-edged sword on that is how that very beauty of our diversity has been used as like a double-edged sword, right? One side cuts away bullshit, the other side cuts away the beauty of it. So it's been used against us to divide and conquer us. Because once we're powerful, we are like lions, tribes of lions, roaming and owning. And there's a lot of fear behind that, believe me. There's certain people that don't want that happening. So it's to their power. So I'm going to tell you something very woohoo, okay? And then I'm going to go because I got to get ready. I do the same as you, laugh, and then I just remove them. I feel sad for them at times. I wouldn't even feel sad anymore. And I'll tell you why. Because if you want to do anything, which I'm glad you're bringing that up, Rachel. It's really great. Is to, like you said, laugh, which I love, and then release them with an Om Namah Shivaya, so that any because pity it wraps you in some karmic debt with them, and the last thing you want is to meet them again in another incarnation. Like you want to, like for example, when I see pro people who are really supporting and rah-rahing the Geno that's happening right now, I block them. Sometimes I go on lives just to see who's for that, and I block them. So I'm removing as much idiots out of my realm as possible. I don't even want to scroll and see them in my feed by some weird occurrences. So you may want to not feel pity for them. Okay, don't feel rancor either. Feel nothing for them. Neutralize those feelings so you don't, the tendrils of karma don't get somehow stuck in a sticky place with these foolish minded low vibrational people. You definitely don't want that. So I feel sorry for people who deserve pity. Like there's a lot of homeless people, and I wish to God I could do something, and I forgive myself that I can't. There's just so much I can do, right? But in terms of feeling sorry for someone who's basically they've been jailed by their fears, so fears become their jailer, is and that what they call in French is coincé, stuck. That's the word. Coincé means stuck in their thinking, and believe me, that's not their first rodeo of being stuck. The good thing about that, when we do meet these people, is that it entrenches us even further into our light. It like solidifies our knowledge. However, for some people, when you get downloads, and that's the thing, many people are getting wonderful downloads, but they're also getting weird visions. I'm going to straight up tell you what a lot of people are seeing. I used to see when I was a kid in my flying dreams, is you'll see dark figures, dark malevolent figures. Could be in your flying dreams, it could be in your dreams, could be in the periphery of your glands. If you see that, it means you're kicking ass. Let me just say that. I know that's counter to what you thought I was going to say. It means you're kicking ass, because if you were in your own self-pity party, they won't show up, these malevolent figures, energies, entities. It's happening. And the problem is that people see that, right? And they freak out and go, oh my God, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to, and so they regress, and that's exactly where they want you. So as you go through your ascension, you may actually come across malevolent specters. It's woohoo. It sounds totally woohoo, but I'm sorry. I'm going to release the information to you so you don't think you're alone, number one, going crazy, number two, and that it's happening to all of us. It's happened to me. It's weird how, in particular, when we were children, many of us saw dark, figured entities, one or two or three. Okay, so that shows you right off the bat that you are a powerful soul incarnating with massive duties to the collective, to the greater good. And they want to prevent that because the ascension now is upon us. We've all been born during the time of ascension, right? So that should be one of your signs. Let me see here. Such good advice. Thank you. I block in my lives all the time. I will teach and learn for those who want to learn. I saw them as a child, and now my daughter sees them. Yep. That's what it means. It means you're powerful. It means that you're coming in to do some shit, and they will bring fear. And it's interesting because David Icke was talking about the Matrix movie and then Monster Inc. in Monster Inc. Okay, so they feed off our energy, and as you all know, they have to make movies to warn us. Since it's the literature of the populace isn't literature, it's like it was books, it's movies, right? So they have to, the universal law, okay, and this is across all universes, which is the realm of source, the realm of God, the creator, is that they have to tell us before they do their fuckery. They have to. And in not rejecting it, we actually accept it. Do you understand what I'm saying? If for example, something goes on your credit, okay, on your FICO score, which is another level of fuckery I don't approve of, but okay, and if you don't deny it, counter that's gone on your credit, in you saying nothing, you've accepted it, and at that point, the credit companies figure that it must be yours, or else you would have fought it. Does that make sense? So when we do nothing is compliance and saying, yes, I accept that as a reality. Does that make sense, you guys? Any questions on that? Does that make sense? Because that's a big, big, big piece. That 1/8 of the pie we were talking about, right? The 9th is twin flame shit. Like, we're going to put it over there in the fridge. But the 8 pieces, that's part of it. That's a part of it. Okay? Any questions on that? So I think I'm going to end this. And I'll upload this to my YouTube. I think this one I will upload. Sometimes I don't upload these things because, whatever. But I'm going to start getting more serious about Spotify. And you guys can check me out on Spotify. Same thing, Sacred Intimacy Tarot. I should put it on my Linktree, actually. But on my Linktree, when you go on my profile, on my Linktree, there's the YouTube link. Go ahead. Please follow me. Get the bell so you get notified when I upload new lives. So you can listen to this. And there's a couple guided meditation. One is Satya Yuga, which if you haven't done the Satya Yuga, please do it. It's got eagles. It's got hawks, a pair of hawks. You'll see that one. And breaking soul contracts with the source and Mother Earth and rewriting new contracts so that it empowers you. You can look that up on my YouTube channel. If you haven't done this shit, man, fucking do it. Because you need a new set of contracts with yourself, with source, and with planet Earth. We are walking to the new Earth, and you can't drag your old shit from other incarnations. I'm not kidding. You got to kind of clean house. We all do. I'm cleaning house. I'm doing all kinds of stuff, okay? And you're going to lose friends. You're going to lose a lot of fucking friends. Friends in quotation marks, by the way. I was telling my beautiful friend today, I said, and it was, I'm going to be blunt. It was a money issue. It was a money situation that money was going to be loaned, and I hadn't asked for that help at all. In fact, I didn't want that help. But what happened? I'm sharing this with you for a reason. What happened is that the money wasn't the issue. It was the ghosting that was the issue. I didn't give a fuck about the money, actually, because I trust source. So the money, I didn't give a fuck. What I cared about was the silence and the ghosting. And the inability for this person to come to me, and we could have had I would have loved her even more had we had that conversation, even more than I already did. But once I saw the ghosting, I shut that shit down. I blessed her and let her go. Why am I saying that? Because you have to fucking trust your moral values and your spiritual compass. Today, this morning, I had a very difficult conversation with someone, and there was amazing respect going back and forth. And we came to an agreement. I was filled with anxiety, honestly, because I really don't want to dishonor this person. And I want them to know I value how they've been in my life. And we've come to a wonderful agreement, rules of engagement, new rules of engagement, though it was a very difficult conversation. But it was done with grace. There was no yelling. There was no accusation. There was no not taking accountability. It was all on the table. And so what I'm trying to say to you is, yes, it's hard to have difficult conversations. And yes, it will fill you with anxiety. But you fucking do them. Yes, it's hard to have difficult conversations. And yes, it will fill you with anxiety. But you fucking do them. Because when you have boundaries that you give to yourself, for yourself, because we're so, I gave them my boundaries. You gave them your no, you give yourself boundaries. Then you don't have to worry about other people. You give yourself boundaries. What are my boundaries, Tony? Well, I don't like to be ghosted. And I've been trying to reach this person and they won't fucking talk to me except for a third person. They're involving another person to talk to me on the fucking phone. I'm fucking done. So you wish them well, no harm, no foul, and you cut them loose. Why? Because you don't have time for drama. So that's 1/8 of the pie. Sometimes I do readings for twin flames and I see all these fucking people in a reading. I go, Jesus Christ, there's all these people in the reading. And I'll tell the client, you have a lot of people involved in your business. And he will say, yeah, I do. I go, why? Why? Why do you have all these people in your business? Why are you talking to that many people who are influencing you and influencing your twin? No wonder you're not in union. No wonder. That all these people who have their own agendas, their own angers about their own relationships that failed and their own bullshit, and they're bringing their advice to you based on their own fucking, shit. Like, the only person that you should be talking to about that is a spiritual person who is completely neutral about it. They're neutral. And a friend that loves you both. I know I move in conversations. I got Gemini up the ass of my planets. But anyway, but you get what I'm saying? Is like, have one friend that loves you and your twin and they want to fucking see you win. That's who you talk to. You do not talk to other people who've been so fucked over. They're really not good they're good for ranting and raving. Don't get me wrong. Use them for that, but not for fucking advice. Does that make sense so far? So that's 1/8. Right? 1/8, 2/8, 5/8, 6/8 of the pie. These are all the things you need to work on before you can even fathom of being in union with a twin flame, or in some cases, and it does happen where some twin rays are in separation because before they are introduced to each other, twin rays, right? They got to get a lot of their shit handled so that they are twin ray vibration and not twin flame. If that makes sense, right? Any feedback or questions? Because I hope that this helped. I know you got to understand when I have these conversations with you guys, they're kind of, a lot of it is downloads. I don't know if you have realized, I get a lot of downloads. That's why when I pause, a new thought is brought in and a new download is shared. And today I'm just getting downloads about appropriating your own self-worth. And it's irrespective of what people think of you. The last thing, I hate to say it, you can love people who don't respect who you are and what you are. You can still love them because love is, blind and unconditional when it really is love. You can love them, but not give one fuck if they believe in your gifts as a healer, as a this, as a that. You're not here to prove to them your worthiness. You're here to help other people. So if you're letting other people who you love prevent you from helping strangers who fucking need your wisdom, then you're kind of screwing up. Because you're waiting for your people, meaning your family lineage, your friend, whoever's around you right now, you're waiting for them to accept you so then you can go public and help other people. That doesn't make sense to me. If that makes sense to you, I don't know what to say. But it certainly doesn't make sense to me. It's about you saying, I love you, but I don't give a fuck if you believe in my gifts or however you want to term it, my tools, my abilities, and I'm still doing what I'm doing. I love you, though. I love you very much. Oh, I don't believe in your book. Okay. And? You don't believe in my book. Okay. The book's not for you then. It's that simple. The book's not for you. But there could be 10,000 people where oh my God, that's the book. Oh my God. Oh my God, that book. Oh my God, that book healed me. Right? And this is the kind, now, here, let me back up a little. Is that arrogant? Or is that confidence? Can you be humble and realize maybe the book could be improved, but shit, I sold 5,000 copies in like 6 months. That's pretty damn good. And they all loved it. It's 5-star up the wazoo. Could I improve it? Maybe. Do I want to? No, I'd rather write a second book and improve on this philosophy. Improve on it. Now go back and rewrite the book. That's when people actually sabotage themselves. Stephen King had the most incredible line about writing. He said, write what you're going to write, put it in the drawer for 6 months, and then read it again. And if it still wows you, it's a good book. Great advice. Put some distance between whatever you're creating, right, and yourself, and then revisit it in 6 months. And you be the judge of it, not other people. You be the judge of it. Is it good? Does it keep you up at night? Did you have a hard time putting it down? There you go. Whatever that project is. It could be a business idea. It could be anything, right? But the worst thing you can do is put all your eggs in the basket of someone's opinion who hasn't accomplished half of what you've accomplished and never will. That's insanity. I think that's insane. That's insane. Totally insane to me. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think of that? But you know how many people do that? Why do you think so many people self-publish now? In fact, there are bestsellers, New York Times bestsellers, who have gone to self-publishing. Why? Because they get the lion's share of the money now. They're doing it for economic reasons, not because they can't get published. For example, okay, that's an example of that. And now more than ever, we have amazing musicians who are indie, okay, who are doing their own thing and making a living. Okay, so the opinions of the 3 publishing houses we have in this country, for example, the opinions of music labels that we have in this country, which is limited, the opinions of these people who think it matters, doesn't matter. What matters is the opinions of the populace where you've made your work go viral, which is something I haven't done with my book Recall, by the way, which I just thought about. I need to get more on the wagon, but I'm not promoting it. I think I did a couple, but not really. I should be banging my drum all day long because, to be honest with you, it's an easy read and you could actually learn a lot from it. But I'm not, because I got so much shit on my plate. You have no idea. And right now, my main focus is readings for clients. Twin flame readings. Starseed readings, career readings, because Starseed's like I can't do this 9 to 5. Like, how the hell am I going to get out of here? So I do that, which is life coaching, and then and my passion of passions is hypnotherapy. Passion of passions, like I'll do that until my last breath. I'm never retiring from this stuff, and writing books. It's my passion, and art. So I can tell you that when you surrender to your own wisdom and you plug into source, God energy, and it filters through. By the way, sometimes you can directly plug in, but sometimes, let's be honest, there's your guides, there's your light teams, you're filtering upwards, right? You're going upwards until you can, sometimes you do head straight to source. I'm not going to lie and say that I'm getting everything divinely downloaded constantly from source, but I know I'm getting it from guides. That much I do know. Even to my own current ancestry, by the way, I feel it. It comes to me clearly. And there's wisdom that for me personally. But when I do hypnotherapy for clients, and I am facilitating their journey with the right questions so that we go deeper and deeper and deeper. One of the only issues that I see not all clients, but a lot of clients do, is they second guess themselves and they try to make sense of it during the hypnotherapy, which is you don't want to do that. So I don't know how to tell you this other than to say, when you go into your meditations, when you go into guided meditations, when you go into hypnotherapy, do not try to think it through and find logic through your 3D brain. That's that's not good. Because the 3D brain is based on a linear, dense dimension, and its logic is based on very little truths. just so you know. So the best thing you can do to approach any of these wonderful esoteric experiences, metaphysical experiences, is to go with an open. That means tell your mind to shut the fuck up and let your soul just boom explore and do not try to. Because it's almost like, have you ever been behind a person that keeps hitting their brakes? And you're like, fuck, I got to get around them. I'm going to crash into them, right? Okay, well, that's what some people do who are afraid and trying to make sense of a hypnotherapy session. They keep hitting the brakes. And that means that they're pausing and breaking the direct connection to the Akashic records and source. They're hitting the brakes so often that they'll actually take themselves out of hypnosis. You know what I'm saying? So you that's what I mean by you got a cannonball. That means you tuck in and you go for, you go, fuck it, I don't care. I'm fucking, whatever I see, I'm just going to tell you what I see. Good, that's what we're here for. Right? So fear is your jailer. And if fear is constantly your jailer, there's 7/8 of the pie. There's 7/8 of the pie. Do you see why you can't be in union with a twin? Do you understand the logic of why I can't always just talk about twin flame? Because it's 9 pieces of the pie. One is the twin has run now or is out of your life. You've got 8 fucking pieces of conscious self-realization awakening that needs to happen, and you can't do it if you're in the bubble love sexual bliss of the Ken and Barbie story. Not yet. And by the time you work on these 8 pieces of your self-realization journey, right, and you've mastered to some level degree of, like, yeah, I'm way better now on these 8 sections of yourself, you will actually come into union. But, and hopefully, quite often, because you are twins, what you do actually impacts them, because you have this umbilical cord. And what you feed, just like a mother feeds her child through the umbilical cord when they're in her stomach, you're feeding your twin knowledge, like the 100 monkey theory, okay? Like the 100 monkey theory, if you know what I'm saying, okay? So that's what you need to understand. All of that, okay? All of that and so much more. Okay? And it's not going to make sense to you as you experience these other realities until you talk to you come out of your session and we talk about it. And then it will make sense. And still, hopefully, you won't second guess yourself. Does that make sense? You might. So, any questions on that? Any questions on that at all? Any questions? Any comments? All right. So, yeah. So I'm going to upload this on YouTube. Check it out. I wish I could upload it on Spotify, but I can't. Finally got a notification about your live. Oh, that's fantastic. And I'm about to leave. But, but I'll have this on YouTube today. And I want to thank you all. I really want to thank your patience. I might not be a massive influencer. I'm not at all. I'm not even, I'm not, okay? But I'm trying to give you guys as much of the downloads that I get. And so that, because most likely many of the downloads I'm getting, you're getting. Okay? Maybe not all of them, but you're getting them. And I want to make sure that you realize that you are on the right track, that you're not crazy, because every time I do a reading with someone, they say, I feel like I'm going crazy. That's like out of their mouth. Like, I feel like I'm going crazy. You're not going crazy. You're not crazy. You're not. But you need to find people who aren't going to, no offense, kiss your ass on your twin flame journey. And so if I appear stern sometimes, I am. I am stern. Because there are homeworks that I ask my clients to do. There are things you need to do if you're serious about this journey. If you want the Ken and Barbie story, not only are you on the wrong live, you're on the wrong trajectory, but who the fuck am I to tell you you're wrong? Enjoy that journey. Enjoy it. Go to it. There are tons of content creators who have 500,000 followers and all they talk about is the twin flame journey. Exactly how you want it wrapped. And that is, in my humble opinion, why the twin flame journey is so filled with fuckery, because there's too many people saying the wrong things. Twin flame universe is one example, one perfect example of something gone way off the path of light. Way, fuck, Jesus Christ. And people are still going and paying these people, $2,000 Oh, we will get you in your twin flame union. You got to pay us $5,000. Really? Really? No. See, $5,000 is what you hand to somebody like Dr. Joe Dispenza. I had a client who paid me $3,000. I'll tell you the story. $3,000. Do you know why? Because he wanted to rewire his brain. I offer that, by the way. And we met every day, 6 days out of week, out of 7. Every single day, we did hypnotherapy, we did coaching, we did guided meditations. We did it for 30 days, 6 days a week, Sunday off. That's how we did it. And it changed the way he thought. Because habit is something you have to change. So if you're on the bad habit of letting your monkey mind say X, Y, and Z, that you suck and you'll never win and you don't deserve anything and you don't have anything to say, and you have the habit of not meditating and you have the habit of thinking this is normal, sometimes you do need a coach that works you out. It's like going to the gym. You've been out of the gym for a while and you hire a personal trainer. They're personally training to make sure you're going to do those 100 crunches. Because if it was just you and your girlfriend, you'd be giggling at 20, you'd be done. Okay? So spirituality also sometimes needs a coach. And so on that level, it's valuable. But too often I see people paying and the person will say, I promise you that I will do spells, I will do all kinds of shit, and I will do it, and I will clean your chakras, and I will open your third eye. And I'm like, wait, hang on. You're going to what? You're going to open my third eye? That's interesting because I'm constipated. Will you do that for me too? That's how stupid this is. And yet, I can't tell you how many people think this is okay and normal. When I go to a shaman for healing, I go to a person, it's a one-shot deal. It's about 108, it's whatever, $120, right? And I go to this person and they help me work on energy or anything that I need to know from a different source, from a different vantage point. And I do it because I work with thousands of people a year and I need that. It's kind of like an oil change. Do you understand? But if you're not working with people like I work with people, like they're healers, like Reiki masters, hypnotherapists, they need to work with a healer. Healers need to work with healers. That's a known fact. And healers who have not done it end up in the hospital with no diagnosis because of the energy being so dense. So that happens. However, if you take a shower every day and you have managed that on your own for decades, then I can assure you that if you work on your chakras every day, you're going to be in a better place, in a more grounded place than if you did not. You see what I'm saying? And though you can't see the energy wheels, it doesn't mean they don't impact you. It doesn't mean, so it's weird. So if you could not see your body, does it not mean, or smell the stench of your body if you didn't wash for a week or two? Does it mean that it still does not need to be washed? So if you can't see it, does it now devalue the need to wash it? If you can't smell it. So if you can't see your chakras, does that now mean it doesn't need help to be, cleared and cleaned and charged? So see, there's a lot of things that you need people like me for. But at some point, you need to take it on the road and do it on yourself. And the habits is important. The habits is important. Okay, so let me see what you guys are saying. Hang on, okay? I usually look away when I do this. Yes, I know the brain. Thank you. You're a massive influence for... Oh, that's very kind of you. That's very, very kind. Thank you for everything, Tony. Blessed to have been guided to you. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Go within, love, and work on yourself. Exactly. What do you recommend healers to do to prevent that? Work with healers. Healers need healers. I'm not kidding. Healers need healers. My son needed healers, right? He had a massive, amazing healer. And I saw this happen with 2 different healers in like a 3-year period. This healer was incredible, okay? And one day she collapsed. No reason. I'm not kidding. I was rubbing on her feet. ER was coming, and I was just massaging her feet because I do reflexology. I did it for my son. I've energetically help her clear stuff that she may not be self-aware because of running and running and running. And I bet you, even though she meditated, she was not working on her chakras. I know now looking back that there were certain things she was not taking into account. She was not doing enough, So there was a chiropractor who's also, I wouldn't say a Reiki master, but she has the healing touch. And some of these, chiropractors are like, they have this added healing gift that is massive. They just touch and you're like, whoa, you bliss out, right? Okay, so like chi energy coming out of their hands, like, wow. So healers need healers. My healer, we work remotely and it works for me to some level. But this other healer that I'm going to be working with is from the UK. And I'll share with you if you guys want how that goes. She sounds amazing. She sounds exciting. She was highly recommended to me. So, of course, there's that. But healers need healers. So you may find yourself a real Reiki master or a real Reiki healer. It doesn't have to be master. Don't get into these titles sometimes, okay? Because I've been with Reiki masters where it was a dead zone. There was nothing coming out of their hands. I knew of a girl who two actually. One is my best friend. She uses the word chi energy. This other Reiki energy. And I remember both of them untrained, uncertified. I blissed out. Okay, massive healing potential. I remember doing. I was a Reiki master for a while. I'm only saying that to say that, but I went through the training. But I remember as I was going through the training, I was putting my hands on certain people and they could feel the electricity coming out of my hands. Okay. And it's, some people just have the healing touch, even without touching you, just levitate, like hovering their hands over you and feeling where the pain is in your body, right? People just have it. And you might actually have it, you yourself, but you need someone else to do it for you. However, you can scan your energetic field, and you can literally rub your hands together and then pass your hands over your body like you're scanning yourself and see where your hands stop, like where are you being guided to heal yourself. However, you still need to either you either need a physical healing mechanism in place for you, right? Reiki, touch healing, massages, Swedish massage, even that with somebody who is incredibly gifted with their hands, and you may need a therapist type healer, one where you can go and lay down your grief and they can give you sense in the darkness. They can give you the torch of light out of the darkness. And the healer I work with gives me both these remote energy healing, frequency healing, and also that concept of a therapy type of, you know what I mean? And so, but no healer should be without a healer, I'll straight up. Even psychologists and psychiatrists go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. They're mandated too, right? I believe, if I'm correct. So any questions on that? Mind felt heart. Yeah, I can feel when there's a block in my body. I'm having trouble finding someone who's not a charlatan. Many self-proclaimed shamans who are. There are way too many. There are too many people calling them shamans, and they are charlatans. That's absolutely true. And you should be able to tell within a phone call, like a 10-minute phone call. You should feel like, close your eyes, listen with your body, not your intellect. Listen with your body. What is your body telling you about what is being said? It's interesting too, because I feel like we're the MTV generation, and we're enamored by how people look, not how they make us feel. You know what I'm saying by that? And like, I mean, I'm not immune to it. Everyone loves eye candy, male, female. I don't get dog, puppy, kitten. We all love eye candy, but we lose a sense of truth because we feel that beauty means good, and it should, but it doesn't mean that, or attractiveness means good, and That's not always the fact, you know. In fact, they're showing me somebody who I'm not going to mention because I think they're famous as a spiritual influencer. But I'm thinking of a couple people that are attractive, but they those are empty words. They're parroting words. They're parroting words. They're not downloading shit, and they're not healing anyone. But they're cotton candy. And it appeals to massive amounts of people who think they're on a spiritual journey. Spiritual journey, I'm trying to remember the name of this particular card in the Kali Oracle that I love by Alana Fairchild. And she comes in, I'm trying to remember what her name is, Satya. I can't remember the name of the card, but it's the card number 22. I believe it's 22 in the Kali Oracle card by Alana Fairchild. Anyway, she comes in with soot all over her face. She's not attractive. She takes you into the darkness of the bowels of men's darkness. And she takes you there so that you can actually come to peace with your own darkness. Because there was this, this is where your troubles are. And once you can actually excavate that and look at it with compassionate eyes for yourself, then you're on the way to healing. But she comes to you very ferocious, fierce, covered with soot, with the skulls around her neck, right? Which in my book, okay, that's not official. In my book, those skulls around Kali represent her destroying her own monkey mind, the various aspect of the monkey mind. The skulls are the various faces of the monkey mind. And she wears it around her neck like a mala bead, to meditate on, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes what doesn't come to us in the most attractive package is for our own good. If you've ever had a Chinese tea that's, those healing teas, they fucking taste like shit, but they do incredible benefits to your body, right? So that's what we need to kind of get more into. Stop looking at eye candy. Close your eyes and listen with your body. How does that make me feel? Does that make sense? It's one of the reasons why I don't put my face out there, on a side note. There's a lot of reasons, but that's one of them. One of 10 reasons. And eventually, when I get to the farm and this and that and spring and actually more like towards the end of spring into summer, you guys will probably see me because I'll show you the land. I'll show you what what I'm doing. I'll show you me gardening. I'll show you shit like that, right? And I'll talk to you guys about it, but only for that reason, only because I'm doing something that I'm showing you something to share with you. But when I'm talking about esoteric ideas, why in the hell do you want to find out what lipstick I'm wearing today? Who gives a fuck? Or if I'm not? Or that, trying to figure out my eye color. Or, oh my God, you've lost weight. Oh my God, you've gained weight. Oh my God, I love that top. Okay? Where did you get the top? No, please listen to what I'm saying. No, I love that top. You see what I'm saying? It's a problem. And so when you are looking for a healer for yourself, listen with your eyes closed. Even if you're on the phone with them, turn off the environment you're in, your living room, your bedroom, your car. I don't give a shit. Close your eyes and listen with your body. Not your eyes, not distractions. Listen. What does your heart say? Does it feel light? Does it feel good? Does it feel scared that it's about to grow? Wow, this person's scaring the shit out of me. Am I scared because they're fucking toxic, or am I scared because I'm about to grow? That's a good question. That's discernment in action. So you see what I'm saying? There's a lot in the 8 pieces of this pie towards the twin flame journey. That's what people aren't talking about enough. Okay? So, of course, I've done my due diligence, and I'll write and I'll talk about things that for many of you are in your beginnings of your journey. But you who have followed me for a while now, a year or whatever, please, you got this, okay? Do better for yourself. you will become transcendental to the twin flame journey. You will come to a place where actually you'll say, and you'll mean it, in this life or the next, I surrender. In other words, I don't give a fuck, man. If you don't come to me right, we're fucking not doing this anymore. I'm done. With compassion, though. Not in the harsh way I just said it. Compassionately, lovingly, but clearly. With boundaries you've set for yourself, not for them, for you. You. And that's going to be very powerful for you, because then you will not be bereft and lost in the wilderness of your own grief. Okay? I'm going to go. I have so much to do. I have packing to do. I'm excited. I can't wait to meet more of you. I want to thank you for following me and supporting this little channel. I'm having trouble finding someone who's not... Okay, yeah, I read that. Sorry. They have exaggerated with the fake feathers and muumuus. Yeah. Don't get into the fake feathers and the tattoos and the booty buns and the Buddha bomb and the fucking... It's just fucking... It's a look, okay? It's a look. Don't get me wrong. You'll see me once. I'm sure you'll see me at one point with feathers. I got my feathers from my shaman. She really is a shaman who actually never calls herself a shaman, by the way, on the side note. But they were a point of, wow, I did this. They were a symbol to me, for me, right? But be careful with that shit, man. Don't get enamored by the way a person presents themselves, right? And, wearing, like, you'll see me, I'm not Hindu, but you'll see me with a bindi. You'll see me with pashminas wrapped around. I've been wearing pashminas since I was 32, 33 years old. So it's not... I wore my first sari when I was 18 years old at a Hindu temple. And I knew exactly how to fold. They were fucking like, whoa. I go, yeah, past life. Like nonchalant. But I'm not wearing it to sell it to you, to make you think I'm wise now because, kumbaya, I got a bindi and a sari. I'm wearing it because it's I wrote in my journal at 17 that by the time I was the age I'm at, I would be wearing saris, which you might see me in sari. But it's not because I'm trying to sell you that I'm fucking spiritual. You'll also see me wearing jeans and boots and gloves and digging into the earth. So... I have gopi skirts. I have sari tops. I have shawls. I wear them for when I would go to the temple in Culver City. I would wear them in respect, okay? I love all that shit, the gold embroidery, the silver. It's been my passion since I was a teenage girl because it reminded me of home, probably. But I'm definitely... But some people are wearing it like a costume to lure you in. And I can tell who's doing that. And it's irritating. It's really fucking irritating. It's not an outfit to be spiritual. It's actually not. It has nothing to do with that. I don't know, man. We package way too much shit. Like I said, we're the MTV generation. We're so visual. We've lost our ability to discern the difference between bullshit and light. And it's like, what can you do? Fool's gold, you got to make sure it makes sense. I feel like you can look at some of the people I'm following. They're very diverse in what they, by the way, with their content, what they create, from political to human rights to, I do have spiritualists I do follow. And there are people I'm attracted to by the fact that they are downloading original concepts, or they're representing, like there's a guy called Astral Legends. You may want to check him out. Beautiful voice. He's on YouTube as well. And he actually represents, reconstructs in a very beautiful way a lot of the ancient scriptures, including the stories of the Anunnaki, including Zacharias Stitchin's works on the Sumerian texts, and including Adam and Eve, and he even did a whole thing on Yeshua, which was amazing. And you may want to check him out. He's on YouTube, where you can see his whole content. Highly recommend him. Astral Legends. And what else? I still follow David Icke. A lot of the things he said is woohoo, but a lot of shit he said fucking came true. I love Regina Meredith. She's not on TikTok. I can't find her. I'm trying to think of other people that I follow that are spiritualists. And to be honest with you, I don't remember a lot of them. I'm trying to think of someone else. There's some good people that are really magnificent, and they're very young, very, very young, and very, very wise. So it's not an age thing for me. It's how original are you? How are those downloads? And I think that some people lose their way very fast as they start getting 100,000 followers, 500,000 followers. They start getting concerned with offending anyone. Okay. And I did ask, I'm not going to mention her name because I don't want to put her on the spot, but I did ask a spiritualist who has a half, I think, I don't know, I think she's 100,000. Anyway, I said, what are you saying? Why, I'm paraphrasing my question to her, but it was like, what do you think the spiritualists should be doing about what's going on with the genocide in Gaza? And her answer was actually quite intelligent. I was like, I actually followed her afterwards because I went, wow, good for you. She said there are people that feel that to follow and to be part of this in terms of support, supporting the human rights aspect of it and fighting against the system that doesn't want to give people rights of I don't know, the idea of life, how interesting, and eating, basic common concept of having water, clean water, eating and thriving, and having babies in a safe place, like, those human rights. Okay, so she said there are people that feel that if you put your energy on it, it is lowering your frequency. And there are people that feel that if you don't, it is lowering your frequency. And she said, I don't believe in either. I feel that all of us have our parts on the planet. I thought that was a brilliant answer because that's true. But she answered the question. Number one. And she answered it in a very intelligent manner. Some of us are here to kick down some doors and to scream for human rights. Some of us are here to raise the frequency of other people in different ways. And some of us are supposed to make sure that all of us are supposed to not ignore this. All of us. But how we proceed and how we talk about it, all of us have been given our duties, our orders, our marching orders, and we need to each respect each other for what these marching orders are. We're each part of this bigger tapestry. And I think that is what we need to look at as a spiritual community. But when you have a spiritual community of content creators who are acting like don't ask, don't tell, like I'm not, like Huda Beauty put herself on the fucking line. I went out of my way to buy a couple of her products. Okay, because I wanted to support her. Because Sephora was looking to get rid of her products. And I made sure to write a letter to Sephora and to call Sephora and say, yeah, you better back off. And they did. They backed off. So we have a right to speak the truth. And it's not my truth. It's the truth. I went ahead. I think I told you guys, I'm about to go in a minute, but I'm going to tell you this one thing. Remember I told you I would never talk to my aunt. Some of you know this because she is a pro-Zio, which I didn't know, right? Which shocked the shit out of me. And so I sent her content from YouTube and TikTok because I didn't want her, it's all from TikTok. No, I sent her shit from fucking YouTube as well. So there would be no questions. And I said, now tell me why you would support this bullshit. And please don't come up with October 7th. I don't want to hear that bullshit. And you know that she hasn't responded. Remember I told you about the 3D, 5D split? And I said I would never talk to her again? That's it. That's it. I'm planning to go to Europe, back to France, towards the end of this year. I'm hoping, because I want to visit my uncle, who's a lovely man, he was a optometrist, and he donated 4 weeks of his, it was 6 weeks of his time. And he went to Shambhala, where the Dalai Lama is, and he donated his time as an optician, one of many opticians that came from all over Europe to fit people for eyeglass wear. Okay. And he came back with a beautiful, bowl, a hammered bowl. It was like 200-300 years old, that he played for me. That was so amazing. So him and I are more of soulmates, if you know what I'm saying. We're from the same soul tribe team. But clearly, I love my aunt. I still love her. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to talk to her. I can't. I can't talk to. I can't sit and break bread with someone who thinks that what's happening in any place in the world that's in balance is okay. I can't. I don't care who they are, how they're related to me, how. No. It's a no. It's a fuck no. And so that's the kind of moral value I have. What is your moral value? How far will you take it? Ask yourself that. How far, like, for example, there are people that will have relations in their family with people who are absolutely against people of other races and colors and religions, and they tolerate it. They tolerate that. I would never tolerate that. That's a hell no. That fucking don't call me. No, I'm not coming to Christmas dinner. No, I'm not breaking bread with someone like you. No, because when you accept that, it stains the bottoms of your feet. It stains you in some aspect. It veers you off your course. You might say to me, well, that's very judgmental. That's right. Sometimes you have to be judgmental. You have to say, do I want to be with that kind of person and tolerate that behavior and tolerate this kind of low level thinking against other people? Do I want that in my life? Or do I want to actually let go of that lovingly and put myself on the right track to be surrounded by people of high vibration because I want to be around love? I want to be about people. I want to co-create a new earth. And how can I co-create a new earth if I'm with people who are rabidly against other people's right to live or exist or thrive because of the color of their skin or their religious makeup? That's you giving yourself boundaries. Does that make sense? That's what I mean by eight pieces of that pie. These are very uncomfortable decisions to make. They're very uncomfortable decisions to make. Inner dialogues with yourself, connection with God, source, your angels, connection with other people in your family, boundaries to yourself and saying, these are my moral values. And, it's like assuming that you're not going to be stained by it. All you have to do is look at World War II. What happened with the Germans? Even the innocent ones were stained by those actions. It's just how it works. See, those are uncomfortable decisions to make. And I feel that that's where we're being asked by the universe, 3D, 5D split. That's what it encompasses, all of that. You can't tolerate bullshit. You can love them all you want, but you can't tolerate bullshit. The level of transformation for every human being is right there. It's right there. They can actually go and get it. There are people that have been Nazi right here who have ended up marrying women of other cultures or men who have changed, who did a 180. Everyone can change. Everyone can transform, but they have to want to. They have to want to allow it to happen. So, moral values, boundaries of self. Do you understand why sometimes the union can't happen? Because you've got a lot of shit to think about before you're ready for union. Anyway, I'm gonna send you so much love. My son's coming up, and I'm very excited. Yeah, hang on. So here, come on in. So this is my son. He's here. But let me read some of your comments before I go because I want to hang on for a quick second. No, you don't have to. It's fine. Some have that look and are real, and some are just all looks and nothing else. Exactly. I came across a person that has all that spiritual style, and they were full-blown Zio. Andromeda Flame. Andromeda Flame is amazing. Some of us are not here nor there and get tired here, but they don't feel right over there. Exactly then. It's a lot going on, There's a lot going on, and I'm glad you're here, Nancy. It's good to see you. I think the next time I do a live, we'll invite whole bunch of people so we can have a wonderful conversation, because the last time it was great. But I wanted my 20-minute intention, 30-minute intention turned into 90 minutes, and I'm sorry about that. But let me go. Let me send you a lot of love. Let me just say that you'll make it. But you need to have those conversations with yourself. And as you tick off on your list of things you need to transform within yourself, what you're willing to tolerate, what's a deal breaker and a deal maker in every aspect will empower you closer and closer to your mission. That's how missions evolve. First, you got to find out who you are and what you want and what you're willing not to fucking take anymore. And that's not... Send me a freaking message next time you go live. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, usually I'll try. Jennifer, I'm sorry about that. All right. Anyway, I want to send you much love. I want to send you the power to be your own best advocate, to love yourself. And as I tell all my clients, start loving your little girl or little boy. That's the first thing. If you can actually manage to love, get the picture. You got 2 pictures. One of you as a baby, easy to love. How can you not love a baby? They all smell amazing. Get a picture of you as a baby. Then get a picture of you under the age of 12 that you don't fucking like because it represents trauma or something that happened and you'd rather forget it. That's the kid that needs your attention. Talk to that kid. Love that kid. Hug that kid. The kid wants a doll. Go get a fucking doll. Do you know I bought myself a stiff blue monkey? My inner child wanted on Etsy a stiff blue monkey. That was 3 years. I bought the damn fucking monkey. I still have it. Okay? Because my inner child needed that monkey. There are children books that I needed for me. I'm not joking. Of course, kids visit. There'll be more than, of course, there'll be like a playroom. But it's not so much that I sit down and play and become a child again. It's that I look at it and I smile. And so it's that inner little child that lights up within me. And that inner little child needs to be loved and honored and squeezed and hugged and spoken to with love. When I read one of the old songs I used to learn singing in French, les chansons du temps. I forgot the book, but it was a book that I bought that my mom had thrown out thinking nothing of it. And I found the book and bought it on eBay. And when I open it up, I'm right back into these magical times as a little girl. And it makes me smile. And I can't wait till I see another child, whether it's a grandchild of mine or somebody else's child that comes visit. And this little person gets a kick out of something that gave me a kick, right? Do that for yourself. That will be the first thing that you need to master, is loving your inner child. Then once you do that, you will be very protective of your inner child. And once you do that, then the more adult conversation that we just had together, you and I, is going to now be able to be more, it will emerge more. You know what I'm saying? In other words, you'll start seeing the priority to the next thing you have to handle. And the next thing, and the next thing. Healing is an ever-evolving journey. It doesn't end. Okay? We're not there yet, okay? But you should have joy in that healing. Joy should follow every step of your healing. Joy of release, of tears, recapitulating some grief, and rearranging its structure within your heart so that it doesn't harm you anymore, but you release it. Things of that nature. All right, my loves, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. And love you all. Namaste. Be well. Take care.